Hello, everybody, and welcome to the October 2019, number 17, the 17th of these, Verona faction turn. I'm very excited. It's going to be a spicy one. I hadn't expected it to be quite so spicy, and then I got all the orders in, and I was like, oh, I see. I see how it's going to be this week. So we've got some rolls to make. We got some things to do. We got some units to move around. If you have not attended, one of these before, it's a bit complex. Let me attempt to explain it to you. So Stars Without Number is a tabletop role-playing game that comes with a sub-game within it called the faction turn. It might be called something else in the game, but it has factions. The factions are setting objects, groups of people with assets and abilities and money that are in competition with one another for resources and for dominance over the sector. In this case, the sector is Acheron Row, home to Roleplay's Verona. Now, normally this game is designed for me to play as the game master by myself, but playing games by myself is boring, and that's what I need you for. And you are a part of this game by going to patreon.com/roleplay and joining the patron for any amount. $1 will get you a ticket. You can join the Discord and you can become part of the Verona universe. And every month, orders are submitted to me by you in your factions, by your representatives, to move your units around the board. This unit, this space, this Acheron Row exists only in two places: our minds and in this spreadsheet, and then I guess by extension, the wiki. So what we're here to do today is I am your robot. I am your machine. I will not be creating anything today. This is a very extended, weird form Twitch plays Verona faction tracker, because my job is to simply look at what you have submitted and then put all those pieces together. And hopefully not blow all your rolls for you. I will try. All right. I will try today. So let's take it to the spreadsheets. Here we go. There we are. Hello, spreadsheets. Welcome to Acheron Row. So I'm going to begin today's faction turn with House Serpens. House Serpens is number 1 today, back up from number 4, House Serpens, and they are going to take their turn, and we're going to go through each one, sorting out all the turns. Where they conflict, we will make rolls. Where there are secrets to be discovered, we will do so. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good turn. So let's see what House Serpens is up to. House Serpens is number 1 on the order, and so they are going to, it looks like, take the action buy asset. So buy asset. All right. So that is what they're going to do. And they're going to buy something. But to do that, they need money first. So let's go over and give them their income. So House Serpens. Where are you, snakes? I should reorder this so it's in alphabetical order instead of just like kind of randomly scattered about the spreadsheet. All right. House Serpens. They begin with 13. They have an income of 3, but before they get their starting balance, I believe, when does this raise wealth? They're spending their experience. No, I won't sort the list myself. I'm just saying it's on the, right. You'll break everything again. I do that. It's true. Thank you to the mods for keeping this spreadsheet from being busted. I think XP is the very beginning of the turn. Yeah. So let's start with that. Let me just double check. I forgot to pull out the rules before we began because I refer to them so infrequently now. So let me grab that. Did you know that the Stars Without Number faction turn, these streams are the most complicated? Like, I need one more monitor to be able to do these the way I'd really want it to. They're the most complicated streams, despite just being like a spreadsheet. It's because I have to keep certain information hidden from you and certain information visible to you, and so I need to use up a lot more real estate than I normally would. Okay, so Stars Without Number. Here we go. Let's take a look at faction experience point spending. Here we go. Okay, so factions. When do you get to spend your XP, my dears? Actions taken during a turn, faction action. Here we go, raising stats. The beginning of each turn. There it is. All right. So before we track their income, they're going to increase one of their stats, which should increase their income as well. So they're spending XP to raise their wealth. That delicious serpent's money. Here we go. To raise their wealth to 3. So we'll start there before the action. All right. There it is. Spend XP to raise wealth to 3. And that's going to cost them from 2 to 3. It costs 4 experience, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go back and we'll change that. So their wealth goes up to 3. There we go. Which gives their income up to 4 automatically. Brings their balance to 17. And their XP is now 0. Congratulations, House Serpents. Your stat line is now 243. And you have your 17 to spend. Now, immediately, they're going to spend 8 of those, which brings them down to 9. Right? And that is going to be spent to buy asset. They're going to buy a always popular party machine on their homeworld of Hroa. I heard that parties on Hroa don't end until the planet explodes. That's what I heard. Party don't stop till the planet explodes. So House Serpents gets a party machine on Hroa. Done and done. So this party machine is neutral right now because it's got summoning sickness. And that is that. Now they're going to spend a faction credit as like a bonus action, which brings them down to 8. And they're going to move hardened personnel from Trilliant 9. So move 1 faction cred to move hardened personnel. And I will never not find that asset name funny. From Trilliant 9 to Marquise using covert shipping. Okay, so let's do that. House Serpents. Where are you? Here we go. Hardened personnel from Trilliant 9 to Marquise. There you go. Okay. Moved and done. Okay. They have an announcement that they would like me to make for you, and the announcement is there it is. There you go. That's the House Serpents announcement. I hope that pleased you, House Serpents. All right, so House Serpents is complete. They have given me some other orders, but it doesn't matter on their turn, so I will potentially return to it. Okay, so next up is the House Imperial. Praise be to their spaceships. We have the House of Pyxis. So House Pyxis, they're going to set their new goal, and they're going to get their balance at the beginning of the turn. House Pyxis. Somebody asked me the other day, just offhand, Adam, why do you feel the need to make changes to the Verona, the faction turn? Because if you saw last week, we started doing some stream prep to do some game design stuff for like Verona, like faction turn version 1.2 or whatever, like adding in a new thing. So a lot of people ask me, like, why do you feel like you need to change the goals system? Why do you feel like you need to add this thing? This is why. If there is a part of the character sheet that people only fill right before they achieve a goal, something is wrong. And so we need to fix it. And so this is part of why I'm doing that. You can see most people most of these factions just don't have goals. People mostly just take goals right before they accomplish whatever it is they need to do. And there's something fucky about this. And so if you're interested in looking at that rehaul, the VOD is on my Twitch channel already and will be on YouTube before the next episode of Far Verona. So just as a heads up for folks who are interested in seeing where the game is going. But House Pyxis, they are not goalless. They're definitely getting a goal. So House Pyxis is going to take the expand influence goal. Okay, expand influence, and they are going to get their income. They get 5, right? 6 -2 for the capital fleet, +1 for a party machine. Should be, yeah, 4, 5. Yep, perfect. So everything's all accounted for. So that brings them up to 14. They've set their goal to expand influence. Let's begin their turn. So their action, as you can imagine, let's see, they didn't spend any XP. Action, expand influence. So they're going to expand their influence. They're going to build a base of influence on Ergus for 3 HP, cost them 3 faction credits. So down to 11. We need to create a new House Pyxis. There we go. And that's going to be a base of influence with 3 hit points on Ergus. Okay, perfect. Good. They resolved that goal, that brand new goal they just got, which brings them up to 3 experience. Good. All right. So 2 quick things. The Pyxis have an announcement to make. They have something they want me to read. So I will do that. All right, here we go. Seeker's Log. Today marks the beginning of our 4th month on the planet Ergus. Just when I thought this damn place couldn't get any colder, winter's finally setting in. The levels of breathable oxygen in the atmosphere are plummeting, and most of the populace already migrated underground to hold out till summer. We'll probably have to follow them soon if we don't want to spend the season in orbit. Looks like the big shots decided to take the chance to storm the castle while the despot was heading to his bunker under the ticking mountains. Jerkwad somehow got away, so I doubt we've seen the last of his sorry face. Good news, though. Somebody finally found where the ticking's coming from. In other news, we figured out why none of the locals eat the wildlife. Lydia took a bite out of some pear-looking thing that popped up out of the ground. The damn thing blew up in her gut. We'll miss her, but at least she went out in a literal blaze of glory. Do not eat the fruit of Ergus. You will explode. Poor Lydia. And then lastly, they have a question. House Pyxis has a question for the Imperial Vault. So I need to roll. House Pyxis rolled a D10 plus. All right. So the Imperial Vault, I'm allowed to share the question, and I will answer in private. But the question that House Pyxis is asking of the Imperial Vault computer: what information does the Imperial Vault know about the sector map that is not currently represented on the Pyxis version of the map? You can see where Pyxis is digging for information. So let's make a roll for them. And they are rolling with a +5 on this one. So let's see how it goes. Oh, I didn't even launch the game. Give me a second for Roll20 to load here. There we go. All right. D10 plus 5. Ooh, shit, a critical success. Ooh. Well, interesting. All right, House Pyxis. Meet with me after class. All right, D10 plus 5. Rolled a 10. 15 total. Very nice. All right. Good. Thank you, House Pyxis. Go ahead and mark that off. All right. Good. Okay, so next up in the turn order is the House of Lyra. House of Lyra. So Lyra, let's give them their income, and we will get them started on their turn. So they start at 21. They get another 4, bring them up to 25. They're going to begin a seize planet. So they're setting the planetary seizure goal. And that's their goal. And then the action that they're taking is they're going to buy asset. Action, buy asset. Okay. So they're buying harvesters on Atasina. So let's go ahead and do that. House Pyxis. Oops. Or House Lyra. Yeah. House Pyxis is done. House Lyra is there. They're getting harvesters. Okay, there we go. On Atasina. Perfect. So those are... There we go. And they're going to move their smugglers from Demnoff to Nevet. So let me make a note of that as well. And then move smugglers from Demnoff to Nevet. There we go. Okay, so let's make that. There we go. All right. So, yeah, what are they harvesting on Nevet? I mean, there's lots of stuff to harvest there, I guess. Rocks, probably. Rock harvesters. House Lyra, there you go. Harvesters from... Or smugglers from Demnoff to Nevet. Yeah, their harvesters are on... They're in another castle. The harvesters are on Atasina. I don't know what you harvest from Atasina. Okay, great. So that's good for Lyra for now. House Lyra will return in a future faction turn. We'll get back to you, Lyra. Lyra's statement reads as follows. Once upon a time, there was a society unlike any humanity had ever seen. Artists thrived, people felt, minds were alive with the stuff of genius, voices sang out and guided all. In an instant, it was gone. The people grew silent, their emotions were hidden. In solitude, advancement fell to a halt. The creators and creations were chained by corrupt shadows. Now, in our time, hearts beat anew. Something stirs in the souls of our people. We weep with joy and sing songs of tomorrow. We reach out and hold our friends close. Our creations hunger for more. Will you join our story or be swept aside? Yeah, we got some prose from Lyra this time. Very nice. Okay, good. Thank you, House Lyra, for your faction turn submission. So next up is the House of Fornax. House of Fornax. And the House of Fornax is going to be taking the Expand Influence action. Okay, so let's give them their money and sort out their goals. House Fornax. They have a balance of 5, which goes up to 10. They're going to take the Expand Influence goal. Oh, hold on. I need to increase the Phi meat. There we go. This was for House Lyra because they're still in the middle of a seizure of Phi meat. So I wanted to make sure I ticked that up. Anyway, didn't miss it. We got it. House Fornax. They got their money. They got Expand Influence. Can you guess what they're going to do this turn? Can you guess what it's going to be? So let's see. House Fornax. They are building a base of influence worth 1 HP on the planet Sean. So that's the first thing they're going to do. So let me make a note of that. Okay. Expand influence. They are going to build 1 HP base of influence on Sean. There we go. They do have permission to do so. They're going to get their experience for that. House Fornax. There we go. Expand influence gives them 1 experience, right? Difficulty 1 plus 1 if they attempted it. Yep. Okay. So it gives them, now they're up at 10 experience. And then they're going to spend another 5 faction credits on a secret. Holy shit! Everybody's blessed today. Blessings of 10s upon you, everyone. So another perfect secret project roll. Couldn't be better. So that is for, all right, secret project roll. D10 plus 5. Resulting in a 15. So exciting. Excellent. House Fornax is happy to announce that the ongoing Merop project is already a brilliant success and visitors are now welcome again in the Parathyr system. Visit the beautiful markets in Babili and bathe under a Fornax sun at the beaches of Kilwa Kiswani. I want to go there. That sounds great. Beautiful markets, a Fornax sun, which I assume is artificial. Like a big hot orb. All right, I'll check it out. Okay, so resulting in a 15, they are done. They are good to go. Now let me double check because I think they started. I want to do their math again. So they started at 5. They went up to 10. They went down to 9 for the base of influence. Then another 5, bringing them down to 4. There we go. Okay, perfect. Got it. Okay. Brilliant. And then they got their XP. They're all finished up. Good stuff. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fornax. Next up is the Prism Network. Prism Network is number 5 this turn. Down from number 1. They are going to take the buy asset action, and they're going to buy a shipping combine on Echo. Let me go and deal with their money. So Prism starts at 11, goes up to 21, goes down back to 11 for buying that shipping combine. Peaceable Kingdom advances to 4 of 4. Congratulations on completing another Peaceable Kingdom. Now they're an exchange consulate, so they might get bonus XP. So let me roll. Whoa, another perfect roll. I am on fire today. Holy shit. Perfect rolls for everyone, except whoever is going to fail the first roll, and then it's going to be very sad for them. Okay, so they get 6, which means they get 2 experience instead of 1, bringing them up to Prism, where are you? Bring them up to 9 experience. And let me give them their asset. So Prism, bought yourselves a shipping combine on Echo. There we go. Make sure you have that. And then completed goal with a 6 on the die, plus 2 XP. Excellent. All right, I will read. Prism has an announcement for you, and I'll read it before we continue on. So Prism Network would like to announce, the 299th year of peace on Echo. May it reign forever as the Emperor wills it. While the sector has experienced much turmoil, we hope we can bring some joy wherever we can. Starting on April 28th at the official opening of the Sci-Ball season, each team's first game will be broadcast completely free. Enjoy. Prism, you and I both know nothing is completely free. You're going to ask me for some demographic information. There's going to be like, while you watch this game, your mind is being scanned by our Prism mind scanologists. I know your tricks. Okay, awesome. So, good. We are good with Prism. No, it's totally free. I mean, okay, I believe you. Didn't cost me any credits at all. I like it. All right, House Triangulum. So House Triangulum is the first. It's the first of a couple of multimedia houses today. I will explain that when we get there. So they are number 6 in the turn order. They're going to be assigning themselves a new goal of expand influence, and then they are going to expand their influence. So let's go ahead and set that up. Triangle boy. So they get 11 from their new balance. They're going to expand influence. And then they are going to do a couple of quick things. So first, they're going to move some shit around. So first, covert shipping. Activate covert shipping on Bora, moving psychic assassins to Kama. Oh, that's right. This is interesting. This is the unique unit. So they've taken control. They've taken control of this enhanced psychic assassin synth death squad or whatever it is, and they are sending them to Kama. Cool. God, I hope the players encounter these things sometime. Ooh. Oh, that'd be so good. Okay. So you'll have to keep tuning in if you want to see Hadil's deal. Yeah, keep tuning into the show. Yeah, are they synths? Are they not? I don't know. We don't know anything about them. They're the Emperor's assassins. The point of synths is that we don't know. Yeah, psychic synths. We'll find out. And I love having mysteries in the game, right? I love having units that we don't understand completely. I love having like lore questions unanswered. It's super fun. I hope you enjoy it as well. All right, so enhanced psychic assassins, they get moved to Kama. Here we go. Perfect. And then we are going to, that costs 1 credit. For House Triangulum, bring them down to 10. Okay. Then they're going to activate covert shipping on Echo to move a demagogue to Honglu. Okay. So that's next. There we go. Okay, demagogue from Kama to Honglu. Okay. Good stuff. Secret demagogue. And that costs a faction credit. Which is 9 now. Yep. Okay. No. There we go. And then they're going to place a 1 HP base of influence on Kabina. And I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this new base of influence is meant to represent like the governor's office, I think. Something like that, like the official imperial governor on Kabina. That's an interesting job to have. That's a very strange and interesting job, right? Being an imperial person, like a government official, but on a planet that is outside the Empire's traditional religious structure. Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. I'm gonna try to illustrate some of that stuff when the PCs get to Kabina, because I think that kind of thing's really interesting. Okay, all right. So that resolves their goal, brings them up to 7 experience. End balance should be 8. End balance is 8. All right, I have. Let me play this. Let me play this for you. Let's see here. Just 1 second. Let me get the audio going. Okay, here we go.
What is the goal of House Triangulum? It is simple.
Never again will we allow our brothers and sisters to be pulled from their beds and shot in the streets.
Never again will we bow our heads and avert our eyes as our friends are butchered for crimes they did not commit.
Never again will we be the scapegoat, the whipping boy of the Empire.
We have walked that road and tasted from that cup of bitterness.
No more.
We tread a different path now, a tightrope between the darkness and the light.
Our reach expands and our influence grows.
There's no going back, only forward.
Whose baby was that? Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Triangulum. It's been so interesting. It's been so interesting for me watching like the various hyper creative individuals that make up the faction turn move around, right? Like I feel like House Triangulum always had a great sense of style, right? Going all the way back to that Fradley's massive Spotify playlist of Triangulum music. But then once the Red Dogs incorporated into House Triangulum, you started seeing more like multimedia stuff coming up because that was the Red Dogs kind of thing. In the same way, watching the people that were in the High Church that built their turn order web pages, watching them move into other factions and send me it's been really cool seeing that stuff. You folks are so creative. It's really, really cool. So thank you, Triangulum, for that slightly creepy, like ominous statement. I assume the people that they're talking about are House Cygnus, which is like, that's dangerous. That's some dangerous shit to say. I'm excited. All right, cool. So next up, we have the House of Aquila. So House Aquila, they're going to. Yeah, I mean, Crux shot a lot of people in the streets. It was a time. All right, so same kind of deal. Aquila, let's give them their money. They're going to take a new goal. So they get their money, brings them up to 10. They're going to take Expand Influence. And their seizure of Liorgioli continues. And they are going to build a new base of influence on Liorgioli, which is my favorite system to say out loud. All right. So they're going to do a build 1 HP base of influence on Liorgioli, which brings their balance down to 9 and gives them 1 experience. Balance down to 9. Expand influence is done. Brings them up to 4. And let me just put their base on the board. Okay. And at the end of this faction turn, House Aquila, we're changing their tag, but we'll get to that at the end of the turn. Okay. All right. Thank you, House Aquila, for your turn order submission. Much appreciated. Okay. See here. Good. I'm just doing a couple of last quick checks. Awesome. All right, we are ready to continue. Okay, so next up is the Democratic Mandate, who I believe are joining an alliance this turn. I have an announcement that I'll post in the Discord about that. I just didn't get a chance before the faction turn started. So, Democratic Mandate. We're looking at an income of 6. So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. There we go. Okay. This turn is the Honglu Education and Research Oversight Act. Man, if any planet needs like schools and rehabilitation, it's Honglu. And I love the idea that this pacifistic, democratic, heroic mandate is going to like show up on these imperial planets and be like, we're going to help you get your shit together. And when I was looking at influence, the influence system, and again, this is going to come up on YouTube later. You'll be able to see it. I'm doing another stream of it next week. But for the influence thing, I was thinking that for some goals, you might require another faction to have a certain amount of influence on your planet. Like if you wanted to get rid of the cheap life, you might need the influence of another faction like the Democratic Mandate that is able to raise the living quality of the people on that planet. You might need to allow them a certain amount of influence to like teach your people to like take themselves seriously. Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's going to free up a lot of opportunity for co-working with other factions, but also opposing them, right? Like you have to reduce other people's influence on your homeworlds to do certain things. Yeah, I think it'll be quite cool. So let's take a look at what their system is going to look like here. So they're going to expand influence. They're going to set that goal. So let me note that. Democratic Mandate, new goal, expand influence, and then action, expand influence. Very nice. Perfect. Okay. And they are going to build a 1 HP base of influence on Honglu. Surprising no one. Democratic Mandate. Base of influence on Honglu. All right. So that costs them 1 affection credit. Gives them 1 experience for completing their goal. Should have that. Okay. And then they're going to spend another 5 on a secret thing. So spend 5 fat creds on a secret project. All right, let's see how they do. Can I roll another 10? Is it possible? +5. Here we go. Democratic mandate. Cross your fingers. Here we go. No, it is a 10. Not quite as good. All right, so I guess the next roll will be a 1. Ugh. Okay, so on a secret project, rolled a 5, resulting in 10 total. Okay, all right. And then they have a final statement before we move on to House Reticulum. With the approval of the Honorable House Triangulum, the Democratic Mandate has decided to support the reintegration of the planet Honglu into the Eternal Empire and the benevolent rule of its most noble Emperor Pyxis Solanum Rona. The Mandate shall bring primary and secondary education back to the planet, as well as its new USEPT Institute. As well as a new USEPT Institute, the Institute of Learning. We are not the fire, we are the tide. Honestly, like, yeah, get your schools on our planets. Honglu fucking needs it. That's great. So the reason that I sighed, it was not a sigh of exhaustion or a sigh of annoyance. It was a sigh of like, okay, here we go. I got a lot. There's a lot on the line for House Reticulum here, and I gotta do it carefully. So, House Reticulum, they are 9th in the order, and I cannot wait to see the lore that comes out of this. So they're 9th in the order. Let me give them their money, and then we'll talk about what Reticulum is going to get up to today. So they get 6, which brings them up to 9. They're going to set their new goal as Blood the Enemy, which is inflict a number of hit points of damage on an enemy faction equal to your total force, cunning, and wealth. So, Blood progress. They need to inflict, what, 2, 6, 8 damage. Okay. House Reticulum is chosen to Blood the Enemy. They are going to, let's see here, new goal, Blood the Enemy. They're going to action, attack. So before they attack, they are going to activate 2 of their transit webs, moving 5 party machines to Orpheus. All right, so House Reticulum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 party machines to Orpheus. Okay, there's Orpheus party machine 1. Here's Orpheus party machine 2, and that's all of those. Okay, now let's hotline Orpheum. So let's see. Orpheus has on it currently, here we go, Lyra, and a bunch of Reticulum. Okay, so for their action, they're going to attack House Lyra on Orpheus with, let me scroll this up so you can actually see it. Party machine. Okay, here we go. So, guys, this is our first attack action in a long time. So 5 party machines, the political attaché of House Reticulum, the operational arm of the political branch of House Reticulum, arrives on Orpheus and fucking lets loose. So, they are going to, for the first attack, they're going to block with, because they have available to them to block, a party machine of their own and a base of influence. Now, we'll get into the roles and we'll talk about that. So party machine versus party machine is let's see, cunning versus cunning. I think this is just gonna be flat rolls. Cunning versus cunning, 2d6, 1d6. Okay. So cunning versus cunning, 2d6 damage, 1d6 counter. There we go. Okay. And then there are some effects that will modify this. So excuse me, spaceship. I need the room. Okay. So Lyra, House Lyra has fanatical, right? Reroll any combat die, lose ties. So let me make a note here. So let's see. I should do this in white so I can actually see it. All right, Lyra. Reroll 1, lose ties. Okay. Okay. All right, and then the House of Reticulum. Do they have an effect? I think they're deep rooted. Yeah. Okay. So they have theirs as defending. Okay. All right, and then, well, I'll. There's another thing, but I'll reveal it if it comes up. So, okay, party machine. Defend, or Lyra defends with party machine. Let's do the results. Okay. So, let me see here real quick. Okay. So, here we go. We'll make the attacker roll. D10 plus, and I think they have the same cunning. These two houses, both alike in dignity. Unfair Orpheus, where we lay our scene. 4 for Reticulum, 4 for Lyra. Yep, okay. So I will just, cunning versus cunning. I'll make a note here, 4v4. Okay, all right. So this is the attack, plus 4. We got a 10 on the attack for the first one. And on defense, House Lyra gets a 12. Okay, so I'm gonna make a note, and then I have to make. There's an adjustment to be made. Okay, so attack. What was it? 10 v defend 12. Is that where we? Yep, 10 v 12. Okay. So the unmodified rolls were 6 and 8. I think. So 6 versus 8. Oh, I see. All right. The tool I was given, I can't actually edit, but I can do the math myself. So value A is 10 minus the reticulum roll. So 4. And then that's A, and then B. Sorry, I'm doing some math for a thing you can't see. The unmodified other faction roll -1, which is 7, is B. If A is greater than B, no, A is less than B. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what happens. So I don't know. I would love to hear how they explain this in the lore, but House Reticulum is not making this attack alone. House Reticulum is making this attack with the benefits of a psychic prediction by the House of Serpents. So we're gonna re-roll Lyra's roll. Okay, so that's +4. Lyran re-roll. It's a 10, so it's a tie. Okay. So let's see. Serpens Psychic Academy forces Lyra reroll, resulting in attack 10 versus defend 10. And then, because it's a tie, Lyra loses. So attacker wins. Tie broken by Lyra tag. Yeah. Okay. Let me wrap these. There we go. And then I can hold these out. Okay, so it means damage for Lyra for the party machine, but let me check their defense orders. This is why I was Reticulum. So I was like, here we go. Okay, so that means that we deal damage, and then they decide if they want to take it to the base of influence or not. Okay, so it's 2d6 damage, resulting in 5 damage. Okay, 5 damage to Lyra party machine. Okay, that's our first attack. So let me go ahead and adjust the damage on that. So the Lyran party machine is now down to 5 hit points. Nope, not max, total. Yeah, 10, 5, there we go. Okay, all right. So we got 4 more of those. These ones are now not affected. The Psychic Academy tag has been used, right? And so what that does is it allows House Serpents to once per turn force a rival faction to reroll any d10, whether or not this faction's in the roll. So they took their prediction, their psychic predilections from visiting House Serpents, and they went into battle. It's an ideological battle, knowing like who to target and kind of how things would go for this first turn, and then the rest is just the stone continuing to roll. So this party machine, Lyra defends with the party machine they have. So we'll roll that attack and defense roll again. Okay, so this one, here's the attacker, right? D10 plus 4, attacker roll gets an 8 for Reticulum versus 6 for Lyra. Okay, so attack 8 versus defend 6. Attacker wins, dealing 2d6 damage. Another 5 damage. This would kill the party machine. Okay, which means they're going to let it pass on, and they're going to take damage to... Attacker wins, 5 damage to base of influence, which you can always do. Now, that means that House Lyra takes 5 damage as well, bringing them down to 11 hit points. Their base of influence goes from 14 down to 9. Okay. And then the attacks continue. Lyra will defend once more with the party machine. There we go. And let's get those rolls. Here we go. So, oops. Here we go. All right. Reticulum is a 12. Reticulum attack is a 12. And the defense is also Lyra. All right. So the defense is also a 12. Okay. So attack 12 v defend 12. Meaning attacker wins. Tie broken by the Lyra tag. Damage is 2d6. Another 8 damage. Okay. 8 damage. And they're going to... It's high enough damage to kill the party machine, but I don't think it's enough to kill the base of influence. Yeah, so the base of influence is reduced to 1 hit point. So let me adjust here. Bringing Lyra down to 3 hit points. Okay, so that deals 8 damage to base of influence. All right. Okay, and then there's 2 more attacks. So let's see what we got. Lyra still has the party machine to defend with, so they will. Okay. Good. Let's get those rolls. Attacker rolls a 9. Defender rolls an 11. All right. So defense success for Lyra. So attack, what do we say? 9 versus defend 11. Okay. And that means defender wins. So counterattack is a d6. Okay, one. Oh wait, hold on. How did we rule? Was it just I rolled just the combat dice, or is it combat and damage? Let me check. Drive. I gotta check my rules and rulings. I think it's just the d10s. Yeah, because it wasn't every roll. Yes, that's right. Okay, I see it here. Perfect. Okay, all right. So it's 1 damage. Damage to Reticulum. Party machine. Okay. All right, so that does 1 damage to, I mean, they're all the same. This will differentiate them. This is one that has 9 hit points. Okay, and then, let's see. Influence. Okay, they have one more attack, right? Yeah, one last one. All right, so party machine, Lyra defends, same. Let's get this one last attack out of the way and see what happens. So, drink. First is the attack. Ooh, a 6. All right. So a 6 on attack versus a 7 on defense. All right. And then 4 damage. All right. 4 counterattack damage. Okay, Lyra defends with party machine, and it was attack 6 versus defend 7. It was a close one. Defender wins, dealing 4 damage. That's what we got, right? Yeah. 4 damage to Reticulum. Party machine. I should change this so it's not a party machine. Okay, all right. Cool. So the shakeout there, let me go and do the damage. So there's another 5. So the shakeout there is that House Reticulum's total damage dealt has been 8. It's more than enough. Yeah. So they blood the enemy. They get their goal. What's the difficulty on blood the enemy? 2? Oh, I have it right here. Let's see. It is 2, yeah. Okay. All right. So that gives Reticulum 2 experience. And that is the turn. Okay. I am so excited to see how this plays out in the lore. Like, it's not an illegal attack, right? It's not physically anybody shooting anybody with guns, so it doesn't violate Imperial law. But if and it should be a different, yeah, you're right, it's a different party machine. But it is an act of aggression, and House Lyra could go before the Imperial Court and be like, Emperos Solanum Verona, the Reticulum are on our homeworld making aggressive actions towards our people, right? And I think that's quite cool. No, we got it. It's right. Lyra took 5 damage to their party machine, 13 damage to their base of influence, and then the remaining party machines are 9 and 6. No, we got it. It's cool. Don't ever worry about asking me if I missed something or whatever. There's a lot of data, and I only have 1 set of eyes, and y'all have several hundreds. So, cool. Okay, and that is Reticulum's turn. They are done. So completed goal. Goal complete. +2 XP. Okay. All right. What's interesting is that once we institute the influence level, House Reticulum has dramatically shifted the influence on Orpheus. They've moved, like the people of Orpheus are being deeply influenced by Reticulum now because that base of influence is so low. Yeah. House Lyra is currently at 3 hit points out of their max of 16. Base is at 1. Yeah. Okay. All right. Trilliant Ring, you are up next. So the Trilliant Ring coming in on turn number 10. Coming in at number 10 on our order, it's the Trilliant Ring. They are going to take a new goal as well. Planetary Seizure. Okay, so their new balance, Trilliant Ring, Planetary Seizure, so you can get that Zerkalos XP. Balance was 36, goes up by 8. So 36, 44. There we go. Okay. And their action is they're going to buy an asset with all that money. Buy asset. And they're going to buy surveyors on Hroa. But Hroa is a planet with lots of people on it. It's been around forever. Why would you need to survey a planet? That's like surveying New York City. There's nothing hidden under the surface of Hroa. Skaven aren't real. Okay. So surveyors on Hroa cost you 4 Trilliant Ring. And there we go. And then that's their turn. They're going to finish the Seas of Zerkalos. So goal complete. I can't wait to see what Zerkalos' name is. So goal complete. Seizure of Zerkalos gives them 1 XP. And then I will read you their announcement. So that gives them 1 experience, bringing them up to 14. Planetary Seizure is complete. Seizure of Zerkalos is complete. Let's see. Okay, so the Trilliant Ring. The Trilliant Ring is proud to announce our newest venture in the newly rediscovered world of Briolette, trademark. This wonderful summertime vacation destination, formerly operating under the brand name Zerkalos, trademark, which does sound like drugs, is now open for business. Briolette, not to your palate? With its return to the Empire, all the glittering jewels of the Expanse have been collected. Work with one of our expert planners at an Expanse outreach office to determine which of these now perfect planets is the right destination for your vacation experience of a lifetime. Trilliant. I love that they buy all these planets to use as vacation spots. Like, that would be like, I don't know, like Remax going to war with a government of an island nation in Polynesia to take islands from them to then be like, welcome to Remax Paradise Island 1. It's so weird and just like dystopian. I love it. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Disney buys Thailand. Welcome to Disney Presents Thailand. Oh, yeah, it's totally been done before. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's not a new thing, right? It's like Del Monte operating in the jungle. Like, companies you do not expect to be that way become that way. The annexation of Hawaii, as an example. I mean, Hawaii theoretically has some, like, tactical value in the Pacific, right? But, yes, it's similar. Yeah, similar jam. Very cool. Okay, so that is the Trilliant Ring. And I guess they're changing Zerkalos to be called Briolette. It's a much cuter name. So Zerkalos. Zerkalos sounds like the angry Greek dude that runs the deli near your house. But if you want to sell a vacation, welcome to Briolette. Okay. In the Unan system. All right, so let me go and adjust anywhere that it says that on the map. And then I'll go change the actual map. Zerkalos, there it is. Zerkalos Jones. All right, Briolette, not Biolette. There we go. Okay, and then... where are you, Zerkalos? There it is. TL2, a great place for a vacation. There you go. Briolette and Cabochon, Intaglio, Marquise, Asher, Trillion 9, Navette, So they've got pretty much all these planets now, right? So what's next? Chipe? Do we expand? Are we gonna go out to? But Lovelace is right there, and Dophiel and Heroa and could be they're blocked in now. The expanse has expanded. Interesting. If I can dig it up, I want to show you an interesting graphic at the end of the thing with influence based on the new systems we're working on. But we'll get there. Okay, all right. So thank you, Trilliant Ring. Next up on the docket, Confederation of the Upright Vagrant. So the Upright Vagrant, as with many of their friends, they're creating a new goal. It's going to be expand influence. Their action is going to be expand influence. Let's give them some money with which to expand. So, Vagrant, there you are. You go up to 12. Then you're going to pay... Sorry, Triangulum, I accidentally took away all your money. You go down to 11 because you're going to buy 1. Argiast Seizure goes up by 1. Expand influence. Okay, all right. So, we're going to create you a 1 HP... Base of influence. Here we go. No, not a bank. Pirate bank. They sell torrents. Okay. On Argiast. There we go. That completes their goal, but we'll get to that. They're also going to move some stuff around. So let me copy that over. Okay, and then activate their covert shipping to move their zealots to a planet I don't think we've seen before. All right. So they're moving their zealots from Nevet to Krates. Nevet to Krates. Vagrananat. Okay. Put your money in the pirate bank. Navet to... Krates in the Bergen system. Okay. Okay. Oh, I've been saying crates for months. I assume it's a made up word, isn't it? Does Krates actually mean anything? Because some of these are pulled from other stuff. Nope. If I look it up, the first thing that comes up is the planet in the Verona wiki. Yep. Cool. I love that. I love when I look something up and I'm like, nope, this only exists for us. This is only our stupid thing that we made up. Yeah. Like I can just search for Cabina now and Vagrant pronounces it crates. Honestly, if you seize the planet, you can just take that H out and be like, yo, what up? Welcome to Planet Crates. It's the warehouse planet. We're going to get you Planet Barrels in just a second. Like you could do that. You could just be like, that's not how it's pronounced in Imperial, right? It's your right to do that if you seize that planet. All right, so that cost them 1 faction credit. Bring them down to 10. They have completed their expand influence goal. They go up to 3. The RGS seizure continues. I will make a note. Goal complete. +1 XP. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. And now I have some Vagrant multimedia for you. Let me just get the levels right, and I will begin their message. All right, a message to you from the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant.
The variable impulse null space engine Mark 1 is primed for its first field run. Let our friends know phase 2 of Operation Monopolia is a go. Yes, I imagine we can get all the subjects to crates with time to spare. I don't see what that has to do with anything. Well, it's not as if it's a full battalion, is it? They're already at a quarter strength, for God's sake. If it does blow up, we write it off as a navigation failure, put the blame on some long-dead Valen, and go back to the drawing board. Then we'll hold a fundraiser for the widows and orphans. Use that to finance the Mark II.
I have no idea what's going on, but it sounds awesome. Oh, it's so good. It's so much fun. I love these. Like, honestly, if you are a faction or a faction representative and you're like, I wonder if Adam's going to want to play our thing, the answer is always yes. Yeah, give me this stuff. I love hearing your voice. It's really fun. And it gives us a fun little like opportunity to kind of tease projects you're working on or little things like that. So thank you, Vagrant. If crates is the official pronunciation of it, I'm down. I also like that language is not so clear, right? I've been calling it Arkansas. Oh. All right. So next up, always no nonsense. I guess never nonsense. Our friends at the Deathless. So the Deathless are going to expand their influence, which I think is their plan. I think they want to have a one. It's pronounced Socrates. I think the thing is the Deathless. It seems to me like they want to have a 1 HP BOI on every planet, which is perfect for a franchise business. It completely makes sense. All right, so new goal, expand influence. Action, expand influence. Okay, so let's get that sorted out here. So Deathless, they go up to 48. They take expand influence. They are going to build a 1 HP base of influence. Deathless, base of influence, 1 HP on the planet Trilliant Ring. Hell yeah. Okay. So Trilliant Ring, new base of influence. That gives them 2 experience? No, 1 experience because it wasn't. Nope, get out of there. 1 experience. Bringing them up to 1. Goal. I guess build a 1 HP. We'll record this. There we go. A 1 HP base on Trilliant Ring, and then goal complete +1 XP. Okay, all right. Now, before we move on from the Deathless, they have our final piece of multimedia messaging that I will deliver for you. Also, kudos to everybody for keeping it around the same time. They're all about 45 seconds.
Deathless deployment to Trilliant Ring guidelines. 1. All drugs purchased for personal use must be Medical Corps approved. 2. Any participation in product test groups must be cleared with the chain of command. 3. Any cybernetic installation must be pre-approved with the doctor's note. 4. All personal expenses are not applicable for reimbursement, nor are any debts incurred valid for aid via the Deathless Financial Aid Plan. Thank you.
The background music is so good. Like I could envision the Deathless like logo spinning in the background while some guy in a suit is like, you have to follow these 4 protocols if you're going to be on Trilliant Ring. It is a planet of temptation. Don't get your dick replaced and expect us to pay for it. That's great. I love it. Thank you, Deathless. Yeah, like a Nokia ringtone. Yeah, right? Very nice. Very nicely done. Cool. All right. So, next up and bringing us into our last few orders, we have turn number 13, the House of Crux. So, House Crux, they're going to spend some XP to start their turn. They are going to increase their wealth from 3 to 4. Yeah, Crux money. Okay. So, that means House Crux, before you get your balance, your wealth goes up to 4, and that costs you, I think, your entire 6. Yes, it does. Awesome. Look at you, Crux. Only 3 turns ago, I think I was teasing you about not having any experience points, and now you're leveling up all on your own. I'm so proud of you. It's great. Okay, all right. So faction health goes up to 31. That's great. No income change. Their income is 7, which means 25 balance. And then they're going to set their goal to expand influence. Can you guess what they're going to do this turn? Can you guess? Can you guess what they're going to do? I'll give you one guess. Just one. You only get one. You're only going to need one. That's right. They're going to refit asset. No? No. All right. Action. Expand influence. Okay, so they're going to buy a 1 HP base of influence on the Imperial Corrections Facility of Gleipnir. Good to have the cops have a permanent thing in the prison, I think. Giving them 1, and Gleipnir. There it is. Okay. So that cost them 1, bringing them down to 24. It achieves their goal, bringing their XP up to 1. They also have a special action they're going to take to move some stuff around, which is going to cost them 1. Let's do that now. And then I'll make a note here. Complete goal plus 1 XP. They're going to move Psychic Assassins on Jelva. In Jelva to Lyra. Psychic Assassins are coming home from the prison planet. Okay. So, House Crux. Psychic Assassins on Jelva. There it is. They're coming home to Lyra. Boop. Done and done. Okay, so I have an announcement from House Crux before we move on. House Crux would like me to read the following. The healing has at last begun after these long years. I feel like I have to do this in the like Max German accent, right? Like, the healing has at last begun after these long years of war. Lyra's scars are old now. We lost so many and so much for daring to stand against an emperor. But Lyra shall stand strong again. Lyra shall prosper. Today, we build for tomorrow. The esteemed Dowager Urdel Tanager Dagmar will shortly announce the great opening of the Tanager Trans-Hyran Hypertrain Network, uniting Lyra's cities and moons through the greatest infrastructure project our blessed home has seen since the Scream. And over Gleipnir, a brand new arrival station is being orbited as we speak. The world at last returned to Crucian hands. The healing has at last begun. We raise our glass to renewal. May House Crux and our fair empire look to the future and finally know peace. And then we take over the world. No, that's not true. Thank you, House Crux, for your turn. All right. 2 more. We got 2 more. We got House Eridanus coming up next. So the big bank House Eridanus coming in at number 14. I like how I just put a $sign. Like I can't even, my hands don't even, they know who's up next. Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't do the German accent all the way through. I was just dicking around. All right, so House Eridanus, they have provided me with a fully formatted turn. Let me just make sure that I don't reveal anything secret. No, I think they're just making money. Making that bank. Okay. So, first of all, they get their regular amount of money, which is a lot. Bring them up to 83. Whoops, not 8 point. Okay. And then that triggers their mass market economists. So 2d6, they can get up to an additional 2 fact creds. A 6. Okay. So they get another fact cred. Okay. Let me make a note of that. Party machines on train. Okay. So I think this was, which one was the first one for lore purposes? The second one, Demnoff. Okay, so mass market economist triggers on Demnoff for +1. Okay, they're going to use their pre-tech manufactories on Yakia and Tiber. Both of them will also trigger that, so we'll get there. Okay, so what do these assets do? Pre-tech, what did they say they were? Pre-tech manufactories? Yeah. Okay. I know I say this a lot, but I really hate Adobe Acrobat Pro. I really hate it. I keep forgetting to install something new. I don't like Foxit that much more, but holy God. I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're like, but I engineered Adobe Acrobat Pro all by myself. I'm the only person that works on that team. You fucked up. I love you, but you fucked up. Okay, so wealth assets. There they are. Okay, roll 2d8 one for each one, and they gain half of each thing. So they're gonna get 2. Is it rounded up? So 2 and 4, another 6 credits, right? Because it's 4 plus 2, and then we'll roll 2d6. Same thing, looking for 5s or 6s. All right, so they get another 4, 5, 6, 7 credits total. Okay, so I guess I gotta record the results. So rolled a 7 and a 4. Which means Yakia, right? And then MME triggers on Tiber for +1. Right? Okay. All right, so that gives them totaling, what did I say? 2, 6, 7, totaling 7 fat creds. Okay. So another 91. Jesus Christ. Has anyone broken the 100? Has anybody broken the 100 mark? I wonder. I mean, we're pretty fucking close. Okay. So that's drink. That's that. And then pre-tech logistics on Demnoff to buy pre-tech infantry for 10. Okay. So that brings him down to 81. And was it infantry? Pre-tech infantry on Demnoff. Okay, so let's go do that. No. Eridanis. Pre-tech infantry. Whoa, big force unit on Demnoff. Okay. And those have summoning sickness. Not that it's going to matter, but important to know. All right, and then they are... Oh, and I guess it wasn't... I didn't copy it over, but the action they're taking is use asset ability. I guess it's worth noting that. Action, use asset ability. Okay. So anyhow, they're going to use the commodities brokers on Demnoff, Yakia, and Lovelace to generate a discount. Okay. So pre-tech logistics, this is you get things for cheaper next time you buy them, up to a half discount. So that is what kind of asset is that? It should be wealth, right? Pre-tech logistics. It is a wealth asset, yeah. So why can't I find it? Manufacturers, researchers, industry. Hold on. Oh, it's commodities brokers. I don't need to know anything about. Okay, I'm looking for the wrong thing. That's right. I was still on the last one, but I'm done with that. Okay, so it's just D8s. That's all I needed to know. That many fat creds are. Okay, all right. So 3D8s. Let's do it. 3D8. So 6, 3, and 4. Okay, so 6, 3, and 4. 13 commodities broker discount. Okay, there we go. And then moving their security personnel from Demnoff to Lovelace for 1 faction credit. Okay, so security personnel, I think is what they're moving. Yeah, security personnel from Demnoff to Lovelace. Security personnel. There we go. Demnoff to Lovelace. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. So as an announcement to finalize their turn, we are looking at the following. Formally introducing Zwitterian Zealots. Your choice. House Eridanis engineered securitization enforcers. House Eridanis is happy to announce our new range of actuarial payment enforcers. Are your customers failing to make their payments within the imperially mandated 28-day time frame? Don't let your financial solvency be impacted by other parties' poor decisions. Our shock troopers are zealous for your financial independence, and for a market comparative low fee, will utilize their pre-tech particle dividing technology to separate your customers from their outstanding credits. Contact us today for a quote. Shit, that's great. Before we move on, I wanted to just show you. It's a very, in case you missed the title, it's a very good title. So I'll post that up in the chat for you. Actuarial payment enforcers, the repo men, right? I love it. So let's see. Anything else? We got to charge them 1 fac cred for that last move. And there it is. Okay, great. Thank you, House Eridanis. So last but not least, Seraph. So Seraph, they're going to get, let's give them their credits. So 15. Yeah, okay, 23, I was right. All right, 23. They're going to action. They're going to seize planet on Halger. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark that. So seizure Halger, 1 of 3. Here we go. And then they have a secret roll they need to make. So pay 2 fac creds for a secret project. Ooh, 10. Not bad. All right. So rolled an 8, resulting in a 10 for that secret project. Okay. So they have an announcement to make before we finish off our faction turn. So, disaster, doom, collapse, recurrence. To define Halger is to speak the language of both apocalypse and resilience. Today we join our steps more fully to this dance and toward bringing many billions of people closer to the radiance of the Emperor. Tier 1 subscribers to our charitable activities can now view assessments of our pilot partnerships in hundreds of Halger's independent communities. Seraph. There you go. Awesome. So if you are a faction representative and your faction rolled for a secret project, whatever your result, please make sure that you message me sometime in the next couple of days between now and the end of the month. And just let me know the number you got and remind me the project you're working on, and I will tell you what it is that you need to know regarding that project. Now, normally, this would be the part of the faction turn where I would stop and I would talk about mechanical changes. I would review patch notes, TL4 plus stuff. And I've been working on some stuff, but for reasons that I cannot currently disclose because of a non-disclosure agreement, which I signed and am legally bound by, I cannot explain to you why I have been so busy this month and have not had the opportunity to do some of the work that I had hoped to do. So I'm still working on some of that stuff. If you are a member of the former High Church, I'm still looking at your stuff. There are a few things that I had to sort of put aside. I did manage to get a couple of hours in on a design stream. We're going to do one more next week, I think. Keep an eye out for that. If you missed it, you know, I'm working on my own secret projects. I will be able to announce that soon, but October was crunch month for this project, and I just had no bonus time for anything. So, faction representatives, I'm sorry. You know, I know a lot of you have been messaging me lately, and I've been responding much more slowly than usual. Usually I try to get to messages within 24 hours. It's been closer to 48 or 72 lately, so I'm sorry about that. I've been working on this other thing. It's been eating up, you know, a couple of hours plus email time every single day. So, are we going to have a faction turn in December? My preference is that we take a break, but also, like, I don't know. I'm not totally decided yet. But I would love to be able to, I have to make a decision because I want to give it a month lead up. So let's say let's say that we won't. We'll make that a thing, right? I think we'll just continue the tradition of taking December off. So let's take December as a break. We'll do one more faction turn for this year, and we'll have our next faction turn after November in January. Maybe what I can do with that extra time and energy is I will try to have some additional meetings. Right, I'll have some additional meetings with the factions. That'll free me up for that time. We'll work on some projects. I know that some of you have some stuff I owe you. So let's use December to clear up the year, and we'll enter into January with fresh faces, new eyes, and maybe some new rules about influence. Now, before we leave, I will say House Aquila. We are changing their tag to one of the new tags. So House Aquila, they're not imperialists anymore. I mean, mechanically, they're not imperialists anymore. Instead, they have taken the, what did we call it? Military primacy, I think, tag. Let me double check, and I'll read it to you. And then I wanna show you an interesting document. So let me see here. For Verona, I just want to make sure I get everything right, and I give you a chance to understand kind of what's up. So let's see. Faction and alliance goals, kind of working on that stuff. Patches. Where did I put those new tags? Here we go. Military martial primacy. This faction may maintain a number of force assets equal to 1.5 times their force rating rounded up without incurring upkeep. Cool. All right. So that's it's in the doc. It's not marital primacy, but I mean, that could be also a thing. So I will add that to the sheet. There you go, House Aquila. You have your new tag, as promised from before. I think that's it. I think that's everything that I had to announce. I want to show you. Let me open up another window here. I tweeted this, so this is probably a graphic that you've already seen. But I think it's so interesting, and it ties right into the influence stuff we were looking at. And no, it's not a graphic about Willem Dafoe. Here we go. Okay. So let me take you back for a second. Check this out. I think this kind of shit is so interesting. So using the influence rules that we created, the very, very basic alpha version of the influence rules, this is what we come up with. This is a pie chart of influence in Acheron Row, showing in colors what each faction contributes to total influence over the universe, which I think is quite cool seeing it. There's something about seeing it in pie chart form, right? So this is, obviously this graph is incorrect now. Some of these will shift. Reticulum will have more. Lyra will have less, of course. This is current as of the last faction turn. But my hope is that this will be something that we can make publicly available as part of the faction tracker. So you can see a graphic representation of your faction and how much influence they have on the universe at large. So right now, I guess the top few things that influence culture in Acheron Row is the House of Eridanus, followed very, very closely, or fairly closely, depending on who you ask, by the House of Pyxis, right? So an Eridanus-Pyxis mix, and then the generic influence, the influence of the High Church, which will I'm leaving it for now. I'm leaving a bunch of the dead, all the dead factions are on here just because. And then Crux as the sort of next highest, right? Followed very closely by Fornax. So it's quite cool the way this all kind of shakes out. It says some interesting things about the universe. Yeah. Pretty cool. So I just wanted to show that to you. That's something I hope to have available to kind of everybody as we continue through the game. And don't worry, those rules aren't finished yet. If you want to see how they work so far, check out the VODs on the channel or check it out on YouTube. Should be out by the end of the week. And then we'll do another stream where we try to take it from alpha brainstorm version to usable usable version. So, yeah. Cool. Well, that's it. That's been the Far Verona faction turn for October of 2019. You can, of course, join the Far Verona faction server, join the Discord, pick a faction, get involved. You can do that at patreon.com/rollplay, RollPlay, to see what all the fuss is about. Find a faction, join it, make cool things, get in fights with your friends, and participate in the game. Thank you for coming, everybody. We will see you next month for the next faction turn, number 18, coming at you live in November. Bye, everybody. Space Master, away!